welcome to another edition of Luminar Coffee Break. I'm your host, Vanelli. Now, our topic today is how to create an artistic matte look. Now, this look will be great when you have an image where the color is competing against the message of the image. So if you have this beautiful, in fact, I'll show you right here. This is what we'll be working with today. We have Lewis and his girlfriend, Cameron. They posed for this shot. The goal is to focus on the heart. Here's the original, and here's what we're going to create today with that traditional matte look. Let me just start right from the we'll come down into the beginning. So we'll use this look when we want to make sure that when we want the colors to be more muted and more secondary, and the message comes out even stronger. Now, this could be great for a wedding. It could be great for a couple, let's say on a bicycle, riding down this pathway. Whatever you feel, if the color is taking control over the image and your message isn't being brought through, try this and see if that works, all right? Now, before we begin, we'd like to take a moment. We want to thank our partner for helping make these episodes possible. Fujifilm reminds us to stay safe, stay creative, stay at home. And we're back. Hey guys, thank you so much for hitting that thumbs up button. Thanks for reminding me too. That's just a way to see how well we're doing on these episodes. If you like what you're seeing, please hit that thumbs up. All right. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start. Here's the original image. Now earlier today I did something very similar, but the difference was what I do want to fix here is we're going to crop the image, of course. I want to remove his watch because I feel that that's distracting, and then create the look. Well, I did that earlier this morning, and I realized the reason why you're here is you want to learn how to create the matte look. So I'm going to start with creating the matte look first, and then go back and show you how I erased the watch and cropped it in. So I'm going to use the history tool, and what I'm doing is I'm just leveling up to each level to where I know it was this one right here. There we go. So all I'm doing is I'm using the history tool to go back in time to set the image where it is, so I don't have to do all the cropping and stuff ahead of time. All right. Let's see. Let it catch up. And once it does, now I did create a look like everything else I do. When I'm creating stuff like this, I like to create a look. So then this way, I can always go back and just click that look, and I know exactly what I did. So here's the faded lump. Before I do that, let me make sure. Yep, okay, good. So here I notice Lewis's watch is missing. Look at that. All right, so faded love is what I created. And in a moment, there it is. All right, so let's just take a real quick analyze what I added here. I used the light tool, brought the highlights down, the blacks, and we're going to go through all of this. I just want to show you the different tools. AI Enhancer, that's going to do the bulk of making sure that the exposure is proper. AI Structure is going to help us bring out more detail in these areas. Color is going to help because we're going to remove the color cast, and all of this stay the same. And of course, Detail Enhancer brought detail into the image. Now, with all that being said, we stuck with the essential tools. The bulk of this is in the creative tool, the matte look. So I'm going to show you how we use the matte look to create it all together. So this is what it looks like, properly exposed, properly fixed. And then we use the matte look to bring out to dial back the color. All right? So let's get started. And I'm going to go to the history. So I know that, here we go, I added it right there. So here we are. All right, so here we are with the original. And I'm going to start with the essential tools from the looks category. Or I'm sorry, from the essential tools, from the light tool, I am going to bring back the highlights. Good. Enrich the blacks. There we go. Bring up the whites a little bit. Shadows look fine to me. Now, the AI enhancer, of course, does the majority of the work. Look at that. Structure, let's go to an extreme. So notice what it's doing to the background. What I care about, really, the shorts and the jeans. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it's not affecting the shorts and the jeans. It is, but not as much. So I'm going to dial it back right about to here. And I'm going to come back to color in a moment. But the detail enhancer, this what's really going to give us that punch. Look at that. Fine. I should make sure I don't go overboard because I don't want her skin to look fake. Good. Before. After. There we go. Look at Lewis's jeans here, especially. Ready? Without it. With it. Good. Now we have that set. Now let's go back up to the color. Let's see if there's a color cast. And sure enough, there is. So we'll bring it back down right about to here. All right, great. So we went from this to this, and we're just properly exposing the image. Now comes the creative part. That's where that matte look comes in. The amount, we'll start with that. We'll just bring it up to a halfway point. And again, I'm really focusing, because I know we're going to end up cropping it to about here. Somewhere around this area, like this. All right, so there's that. Now let's fade it. There we go. I'm liking the fading. I'm just going to zoom out just so I can see the whole picture. Good. And every so often you'll see I do like turning it on, turning it off just to make sure we're seeing what we need to see. Let's bump up the contrast. That's it. All right. Now, the vividness. Let's bring that down. Good. And maybe some of the saturation. Let's go to an extreme. All right. Well, saturation's not going to affect it as much as I want it to. Yeah, look at the shoulder up in here. So let's bring that way down. Good. All right. So without it, and then with it. Good. And look at the histogram up in here. So check out the histogram. Ready? Turning it off. And now turning it on. Look at that. So it's shift. So according to this, we don't have a pure black point. And then the white spot, the white points are here as well. All right. Now is when we can crop it. I want to get rid of her neckline. And we'll bring it down to here. And then we'll bring it all the way up. There we go. And what I'm going to do is unlock it and just bring it out to the side. Now, I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. This is going to give me more choices when we decide to apply this to an image, or if I want to put caption on it. I like the size right here. Look at that. So there we are. Before, after. Now, one last tip I want to do with you. So I have the look I'm going for. Remember what I said? I really want to focus on the hands. So from the Pro Tools, let's click on Dodge and Burn. I'm going to start painting. Instead of 50%, let's just bring that down. In the 20s is good. Yeah, that's good. All right. And I'm going to enlarge the brush. Because I'm painting. I'm painting under lighten. I'm going to make it larger. Now, ready? Dab. One click. Dab. One click. dab, one click. So let's see what that does. Look at that. So it didn't look like it did a lot, but look how it's bringing the focus in. Now, that's a little too much. We can either dial it back from here and then just bring it back in. This looks like, what, about 85%? We could do it that way, or we can come under erase, and instead of 23%, let's make that half or lower. That's good. I'm going to use the left and right bracket key to make the brush smaller. And now I'm just going to, little touch, little dab, and maybe a little swipe. So, before, after, ooh, good. See how it's just a little. Here we go. And apply. So, do you see what I just did? That how that little subconsciously is gonna bring your eye right to that arm. All right. So once I'm done, export it, and let's just call this complete. And I can give it a new name if I want, but we'll leave it for now. Actual size is good, and then export it. We already have one called complete. I'm going to replace that one. All right. So while that's exporting, let's quickly just analyze what we did. We muted the colors and we gave it a faded look for an artistic side, but also so the colors wouldn't compete against the message, which is the heart. Now, let me pull right back up again. Excuse me. As soon as that finishes, there it is. All right. Let's check single image edit. There it is. So that's my final print. Fill your heart with love, so there's no room for hate. So that was the message we wanted to push as part of the Erase the Hate campaign that I'm working on a special project. And of course, I'm going to tweak this a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, but I really like the way this came out. And again, the first thing we had to do as photographers is get the image the way we want it. And then, honestly, I'm going to hand this off to a graphic artist and see what they can do. I just took that into Adobe Spark, and Adobe Spark had these little templates that it did. All right. So, any questions so far? And please hit that thumbs up if you like what we were doing. All right, guys. My buddies are all coming in, wow, from Colorado. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. This part from this point on, see the time. Oh, perfect. This next section is just pure bonus, all right? So here we are. And by the way, what I was able to do is this. Here's all the images. What I'm going to do is click on the edit one, and here it is. That's how I was able to, oh. All right, guys, let me show you that again. So again, this part is all strictly bonus, all right? So I'm with the library module, the library panel rather, and what I did was this. These are all the images. Yes, Scrappy got involved, or Olive got involved in some of the shots. To quickly find which one I've been working on, from the drop-down menu, I'm going to click on Edits, and now it shows me that this was the one we were editing. All right? And then we'll come down to the history. And what I want to show you, again, this is purely a bonus. We already got the matte look out of the way. So if that's what you came here for, that's what you were learning. So what we're going to do is give it a second to refresh. And what we want to do now is come back all the way to the original. And the first thing I need to do is I want to erase Lewis's watch. I have a choice here. Imagine Lewis cost $125 for the modeling. He was here for an hour. Let's say he got paid $125 for this. Well, I have a choice. Because I left the watch on in this, and I think it's very distracting, we could either have Lewis come back for $125 and reshoot this again, or we could try it in Luminar. Now I'm going to show you in Luminar, it's not going to be perfect in the beginning, but because we're adding all those special effects, it doesn't have to be. So let's start. And again, this is strictly an extra bonus for you. I'm going to take off the highlighter. Oh, there we go, right there. So I'm going to move the brush a little bit larger, and I'm going to use the pen to just draw the outside, and I'll come back and fine tune it. There we go. And then just trace the sides. I don't have to be 100% precise. That's it, and then just fill it in. Now, this is a pretty big piece. So, what Luminar is going to do when I hit erase is it's actually searching for that piece. Here it is. It was searching for that piece, and it was able to duplicate it. But obviously, look at this. Look how horrible that looks. All right? So I'm going to look around and see if there's anything else I can do with the erase. Maybe a little line here. Good. All right, that's fine. And I click done. All right, so I have to fill in the blanks in a couple areas. I'm going to scroll down now, and I should have erased this. In fact, I'm going to. I'm going to go back to erase. And the reason why I'm doing this is the next step is clone and stamp. Let's get rid of this. Clear. Pen's so much easier. There we go. Erase. Yes. Okay. Good. So Russell made a comment. I'm trying to get it up. Here we go. I'll do this. Okay. Would doing in steps be better? Yes, I think it would. So what he's asking me is, if we remove the watch in steps, would have been better? Probably would, but we're just working on time wise. So I got this done. Now, I can't remember which member brought this up, but I thought it was a great concept and a great idea. Once you use the erase tool, don't put any looks or anything on that tool, because if you want to come back to it, you can continue with the erasing part. So I thought that was pretty neat. So what we're going to do is, since we're using the clone and stamp tool, it's going to compress or bring all those other layers, a combination, going to merge them and create its own layer, which is the new stamp layer. So now I can't go back to that erase. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to fill in the blanks right about here first. So I'm selecting the point where I'm going to clone, and I'm using it at 100%. Good. Let me go back up again. I'm holding down the Alt key, select, and now I'm filling in this spot here. And I'll come down. Now I'm getting a little crazy here. 1 second. There we go. There. All right. For now, that's there. Now let's clean up the rest of it. I'm going to click somewhere out of the side, and I'm going to come in and just touch this part up. There we go. And then on this side, same thing. But I have to be careful of where I'm selecting from. Right about here, let's say. Good. And then, there we go. Got it. All right. One more time, I'm going to come up in here and bring some texture. Now, in a case like this, I'm going to change the opacity to a low number. Now I'm going to come up and click somewhere in here Bring the brush a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to do a little touch. So now I'm adding a little texture on top because I'm only painting at 40%. There we go. Good. All right. There we have it. All right. So I wanted to show you that last. And the reason why I wanted to show you that last was because, again, the whole purpose of this exercise was to teach how to use that matte look. So now that I have it set, let's look at the layers. It created its own up into here. Here's your clone and stamp, the erase. And now what I want to do is I want to add one more adjustment layer. And with that adjustment layer added, now I'll add the faded love. Or faded love. And it's almost there. I never thought, oh, great. Great. You know, and originally for the clone and stamp, honestly, I usually just duplicate it and shift some of these elements over to fix it. But it was so much easier doing the clone that way. And again, you see how it doesn't have to be perfect because we're using the effects to hide some of that. So before, after, and now I just saved myself $125. No offense, Lewis, to not bring Lewis back for the photo shoot. But if I couldn't erase that, then I would have had to spend another $125 to bring him back on set, all because I, as the photographer, forgot to get rid of that watch. And then once again, from here, you could decide how you want to crop it. There we go. And you could even come over here, which I liked, 16:9. So I like the 16:9 ratio. Good. However, there. Let's see. And lock it. Nope, it didn't lock. That's fine. All right, so this looks good right here. And the only reason why I chose like the 16:9 is I like how it looks on my phone. I like how it looks on the website. So I just picked 16:9. If I were to make a print, I could do a really nice 16:9 print and put the logo on the bottom or the caption that we were talking about on the bottom. All right, guys, so there you have it. Again, use that matte look, the concept of it, when the color is competing too much with the message of the image, convert it either to black and white or try that matte look to get it less vibrant and that muted color. And I just think it brings out incredible features. And another characteristic of it, of course, is adding structure or details to the image. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you liked what you saw, hit that thumbs up button, leave comments below, and also if you have suggestions for the next, I think we did 128 of these, coming up with ideas, 128 different ideas, isn't that easy. So if you have questions on stuff you'd like to learn, please either shoot me an email or drop it in the comments. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you at the next coffee break.